Welcome to the Blairstown Township Committee meeting of Wednesday, June 8th, 2022. Can we have an opening roll call, please? Kristen.
Mr. McAtura.
Here.
Mr. Orcott.
Here.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg.
Here.
Mrs. Waldron.
Here.
Mayor Moorhead.
Here. Can we please rise for the salute of our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act, PL 1975, Chapter 231, setting forth the time, date, place, and purpose of this public meeting through a legal notice published in the New Jersey Herald and the Star Ledger following the Township's annual reorganization meeting, at which the 2022 meeting schedule was adopted. We're starting out with the highlight of the evening. We have swearing in of two of our Blairstown's finest here tonight. And
they're not here.
They're not here. Has someone notified the chief that maybe we
Kristen took off, so.
yeah, have something going on in here for them? We can,
Sing a song, maybe?
no, I mean, if you'd like to,
I'd rather wait until the gentlemen were here.
I'd like
We'll call 'em
the
up.
gentleman to be here.
You want me to walk back there and see? Kristen already.
I think she was.
I'm hoping she went back.
Oh, she did.
She's also printing out that ordinance, but I'm hoping she's reminding them.
I can't even pull that on my phone.
No. Kevin, you might want to, if you could see if she went that way or straight or left.
But this half of the audience we can blame because they're all police officers' families. They don't like everything we're.
They were the first ones
They're
here.
willing to wait, yes.
They were already waiting outside. I hate keeping people waiting, but you guys were early.
We were early.
Yeah, you were. It's a nice night to sit outside, though.
But now that you came all the way out here from, was it Randolph? Or where is it? Long? Mount Olive.
No, it's not too bad.
Well, you,
Yeah.
before you hit 80, you got Duck Hill Brewery. You got to stop there. It's very nice. I enjoy it.
Good evening, gentlemen. And Castor.
Where's Castor?
Right there with Herzer.
Yep.
Officer Herzer. Oh, God.
We, make sure you're on the microphone for that. We have,
We're going to go down there.
yeah, well, I can go down there, you can take the mic. How's that?
Up here?
Yeah, you stay up here.
Okay.
All right. It's a whole show.
Oh.
Got a whole show going.
As long as you have it choreographed.
I think we...
Okay, the first one up is for Richard Herzer, who is going to be promoted to corporal. This apparently happened in November. Unfortunately, because of COVID and everything, it was delayed. So, welcome everybody, and we're glad to do it tonight. Officer Herzer graduated from the Essex County Police Academy in May of 2015 and became a member of the Essex County Sheriff's Office. Subsequently, he was hired by the Blairstown Police Department on October 16, 2015, as a patrol officer. During his tenure with the Blairstown Police Department, he has completed numerous leadership and training courses. He's certified as a radar instructor, field training officer, and child safety seat technician. Officer Herzer has received several awards, one of which was from the Warren County 200 Club. And on June 11, 2017, during a routine traffic stop for a seatbelt violation, the passenger of the vehicle went into cardiac arrest. Officer Herzer has assisted in administering CPR, thus saving the passenger's life. In 2018, he was selected to be our K-9 officer, and he graduated from the Union County Sheriff's Training Academy as a certified K-9 handler. He and his K-9 partner, Castor, can now be routinely seen patrolling our township. Castor, aside from being a patrol dog, is also certified for tracking and narcotics detection. Officer Herzer is continuing the family tradition, as his father was also a canine handler before his retirement from the Irvington Police Department. The police chief, its members, and alongside the Township Committee are honored and proud to have Officer Herzer promoted to the rank of corporal. Mayor?
Jeez, what a familiar face here.
Right hand on the Bible. I'd say.
Okay, repeat after me.
It says raise your right hand.
I, Richard Herzer,
I, Richard Herzer,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States,
to the
governments established
governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all the duties of corporal
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of corporal
for the Township of
for
Blairstown,
the Township of Blairstown,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Caster's pretty interesting, that's how. Yeah. It was small hamburgers or something.
We need a picture here.
Yes.
Very nice. Congratulations.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate it very much.
All right.
Oh, wait, I think we got one picture. Did you need one more picture, Deb?
Connor, you want to come?
Oh, little guy.
This guy.
Introduce his guests.
Caster smile. Caster smile.
Where is it?
I know this guy. I met him and I said, well, you look like someone that works for us.
Yeah. Besides, thank you. It's an honor.
Congratulations.
We're lucky to have you,
Yeah.
sir. We're lucky to have
Thank you.
you. All right.
Okay, Officer Kristen Hart.
Mayor.
Okay, Officer Hart started his public service career at an early age. He's been a volunteer firefighter with the Bud Lake Fire Department since 2017. And in August of 2018, he graduated from the Morris County Public Safety Training Center by completing their Fire One course, and he remains a volunteer to this date with the fire department. In 2019, he completed his training to be a certified emergency medical technician, and he was employed by the Atlantic Health System as an EMT from September 2019 till April of 2021. After graduating from Cape May County Police Academy in July of 2021, he was hired by the North Wildwood Police Department as a Class II Special, where he served as a patrol officer. Officer Hart has demonstrated his dedication to public service. The Blairstown Police Department, the Township Committee, and our residents are excited and proud to extend a warm welcome to Officer Hart in joining our prestigious police department.
She's the first one. So it's left hand on the Bible.
Raise your right hand, yeah. Left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, yeah. Sorry. Got that
I've only
wrong.
been sworn in. Ready for this? You read this. I, Christian T. Hart,
I, Christian T. Hart,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of full-time officer
of all the duties of a full-time police officer
for the Township of Blairstown,
for the Township of Blairstown,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
My cousin, my two cousins, my friend Joe and my friend John.
Happy birthday.
And my dad.
A lot of people came out to support you, so congratulations. We're very happy to have you on board. I've heard a lot of great things about you already, so
Thank you, sir.
a much-needed addition to our police department.
Thank you. Officer Hart. Nice to meet you. Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Township.
Good job, Chief.
Best force in this state. Yes, it is. By far. Bunch of dedicated men we have. We're very lucky to have us in police department.
When we talk about Blairstown, outside of Blairstown, one of the first things we say is, we have a police department. Because all our surrounding towns do not have a police department. And we are able to keep all these guys working and on the road every day. And it's a real pleasure when I come back into town and see a Blairstown police car go by, and I realize you guys are you guys are on the job, and it's a really good feeling. And I thank you so much, each and every one of you.
And Lisa for the job you do too.
Yes.
Yes.
Very good, Lisa.
I have to. Lisa is awesome. She absolutely is. And you come from a great family, Lisa.
Thank you. It's nice seeing you guys. It's nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Take care.
And now we lose half the audience. Sorry, we're not serving anything.
It's nice to start off for something very positive.
Exactly. Start off on a high note.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I still can't find my agenda.
Thank you.
Just wait for Kristen to get settled again.
I'm good.
You made those copies?
I did. I'm on it.
This is, I'm going to say this is the fastest ordinance turnaround ever.
That's what we do.
That is really fast.
There's also something in there that Joanne is going to be discussing.
Thank you.
I want to thank you all for my workout for right now. Really fast.
Thanks.
That's what Mayor Moorhead's talking about, and that's from Joanne.
Thank you.
Oh, it's going to be all.
You got this? You have your...
Here's a secret project,
Okay.
Bill.
All right, so as we move through the agenda here, we're up to public comment section. All right, we have, with first hand in the air, I know, Mike, you're probably going to want to talk as well. You didn't get your hand up, but I'm assuming if you're here, you're going to talk. All right, let's go first to the back of the room. Come on up and...
I just want to thank all the people that helped me with my water problem on Maple Lane. Like Debbie, I've called Debbie so many times. Come and look at this. This is a mess, you know. And Joanne, she's helped me so many times. Kristen is going to give me the tape.
I am. I actually just said I have to go running back in the
No
office.
one came to look at my property.
No
I was
date.
disappointed, but I want to give you, I want you to be very proud of your reporter here, Alexa, because she called me, she came to my house and we walked all down through Maple Lane. And for Alexa to take on small town politics, that's a lot of courage on her part. And she deserves an applause for that.
Thank you, Alexa. Thank you.
Thank you, Alexa.
So I appreciate it. We had a nice walk. It's not easy to take on small town politics. There's more to it than one would think. So I give her a lot of courage. I want you to go out west and climb all the mountains out there and enjoy yourself. So thank you.
All right, Mike. You don't have to raise your hand. I'm just calling on you. I'm assuming you have an update. I read that lengthy response.
Yeah, there's not much of an update right now because...
There was a lot of response, but not a little substance, right?
It was a very long email.
Mike
Right.
5X Sandal Trail, Columbia, Blairstown. Yes, I wanted to make sure that right now we're in the process of the 26 test pits that were dug. Those results are in. I got a call from the property owner's lawyer saying that they were in and he wanted to let me know that. And they're going to be discussing it with the DEP this week. So that proceeded me to go ahead and send Mr. Farrell an email. And after reviewing the email, I did have some concerns. I know we've been through this a lot, and I appreciate you all letting me keep you up to date and stay abreast of this situation. Because I think it's important that this gets solved correctly and we stay 1 or 2 steps ahead of what's going on so we're all prepared. And it can be done as expeditiously and as cleanly as possible. As you know, the LSRP that first worked on that property was the Brockerhoff Group.
Right.
We were in touch with that property, with that group in the beginning, my neighbors and I. They were very concerned with the initial findings. There was 25 superficial samples to 6 inches depth, and all 25 were over the default standards. And we've already went over the different chemicals and compounds that were found. They told us that since it was classified as solid waste, they were looking to remove it all and also to test the aquifer to make sure that it did not get contaminated, which would in fact contaminate all the wells that surrounded that area or who were fed from that aquifer. Not to mention those that were downhill, the wastewater that came off through the rain and all that, down through the creeks and what have you. And Debbie, I think you were talking to me last time about
Yes.
the corridor 94.
Yes, that's a glacial path.
I wanted to look into that, and I tried. I couldn't find any information on that. So
I'll see if I still have those records, and I will also see if Warren County Health Department has any records on that.
I appreciate that, because if it does in fact get down there into that glacial path, it's going to spread straight down.
Yes.
I guess they're down 94. I did call again, Warren County. Kevin Gavada has not returned my call.
That's who I worked with. I worked with Kevin Gavada and I worked with Bob Canese.
So I've been in touch with Kevin before, and as I told you all in the beginning, his comment to my request to have that aquifer tested was, we can't do that until your wells become polluted. And my comment was, that's what we're trying to prevent.
Avoid.
Because once they're polluted, we know there's no going back. Also want to make sure that everybody was aware again of my conversation with Mr. Farrell, who is the chief for the DEP, bureau chief for solid waste. I had asked him the concern that we had with those chemicals and compounds going through the soil, hitting the aquifer, and possibly the surrounding wells. While he informed me that those don't readily move through soil as quickly as other compounds, I simply asked him one more question. Can you guarantee me that it's not going to end up in our aquifers? He said, of course I cannot. So I just want to make sure that we all are on the same page, because we start to hear things that make us feel better, but there's no guarantee. And I don't want to come back 20 years from now, or how long, and find that people in our township came down with some type of cancer or ailment due to us not doing our job and seeing this through properly to its entirety.
That's why it's so important that you come before this committee and tell us these updates, because without you explaining them, we only hear part of this conversation. And it's important that we know, because what affects you may affect everybody else in this town.
And like I said before, that's my main concern, is my neighbors and all of us. And now that you talked to me about the glacial path, that does concern me, because Mr. Farrell did say I would definitely not drink the runoff from that property. Well, what is that telling us? That the runoff contains a tremendous amount of those compounds. And if it's going to hit an aquifer downhill, the glacial path, that's just going to spread that more and more. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that, and I wanted to read to you part of his comment, because I found this really interesting. Although the findings of the previous LSRP's superficial soil sampling indicated exceedances of the default migration to groundwater pathway standards in NJAC 726D, as previously communicated, LSRPs routinely will develop site-specific migration to groundwater standards that, depending on site conditions, may not be skewed by the conservative assumptions used to develop the default standards. While I cannot predict an LSRP's actions, for your planning purposes, you should be aware that it is common for an LSRP not to recommend aquifer testing if residual soil contaminants do not exceed site-specific migration to groundwater remediation standards. I grew very concerned when they talk about the DEP's conservative effect of the groundwater due to these contaminants, and the LSRPs making their own exceedances. That concerns me, as it should concern all of you and everybody in this town. And I have done my research. I have investigated things. I have worked with all of you. We've seen dumping throughout our county. We've notified other towns of what's going on in their town. We've done everything we can to stop this illegal dumping, which isn't, and I'm not saying in this case, in a lot of cases, it's for monetary purposes, personal gain. Or not all the time do we talk about a homeowner just having bad luck, seeing it on the internet, and bringing all that soil in and contaminants and just not knowing. And I'm not sure what happened in this case. And I don't want to make an assumption, but those are just the facts of what's happening throughout our state. And we all are very concerned.
Mike, may I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Who is the current LSRP over there?
Peak Environmental Group.
And what are they doing in regard to it?
Well, after the homeowner relieved Brockerhoff's group, because Brockerhoff's group, I believe, in my opinion, was doing it properly, calling for removal, testing the aquifer, taking care of all that. They enlisted another LSRP, which is their right, to remediate this in most cost-effective way for them. And like I said, I've been in contact with their lawyer, who's been in communication with us because they did not want us to talk to the LSRP, Peak Environmental. Everything was handled through the lawyer. So I am well aware of what his goal is and the homeowner's goal in all of this. It's to remediate this in the most cost-effective manner.
Of course.
And we all know that there's a considerable amount of material, let's just call it that was dumped on that property. We're not talking about the 50 truckloads that was reported to the township, which resulted in the 25 test pits, because the DEP requires one test for every 1.5 to 2 truckloads. Well, with this 26 test pits, we're going to get our answer to how much is really dumped on that property, to the extent. My question to the DEP and to you, why isn't more, once we find out that there was 2, 3, 4, whatever 100 truckloads dumped on that property, why doesn't the DEP standards apply that and bring back more testing? So it's not just 25, or now they have 26 to go through that. So we all have questions on how this is being handled. And we do realize in life that sometimes the path of least resistance makes people feel good. And it's just easier to do things. We are concerned with the path of least resistance here. I want you all to know that we are dead set on having every bit of that soil removed from that property. We are hoping that between solid waste and coastal riparian, which both issued violations to the homeowner and the previous homeowner, that is all removed according to the DEP. That would make it simple for all of us. It really would.
Has anything been removed yet?
No.
Mike, have,
Going on for many years?
But in all fairness, that's not the process. The 26 test pits were done to see exactly what is there, how much. They used a spectrometer to test the soil all the way to virgin soil. They took virgin soil samples. So when I over that, and Mr. Farrow was kind enough to say that he would go ahead and notify me as soon as the DEP had that available to Oprah, I will be sure to send all of you a copy.
please include all of us on that.
I would.
And I apologize for having someone to forward my email.
Yeah.
Only 2 of you received my
Yeah,
email.
exactly.
Well, now you did, but
I wasn't
what
getting it.
happens when I put the 5 of you in, it spits back to me. I'm able to send, and it drives me nuts. So I have someone send that out that's capable of hitting all 5 of them.
You can actually send it to me and I can forward it to everybody.
Yeah.
That
Mike,
would be good.
Yeah.
Mike,
Appreciate that, Chris.
Yeah.
Michael, real quick, has there been any identification of the trucker that brought the loads of dirt? And if so, were they issued any violations? And also, where was the location of the dirt that it came from? Do you know any of that?
It's been reported to me from one of the truckers that dumped 11 loads there, that it was from North Jersey.
But you don't know the location?
I'd have to look up in my records. I don't want to misquote.
I'm just wondering if that location had a violation against it at some point, which made them move that dirt off that property.
Well, you see, I'm told, see what happens with the dirt or the fill or whatever it's called. A lot of this stuff is supposed to go to transfer stations.
That's correct.
That take care of what it is, solid waste.
There's a lot of, we're not even talking about dirt here. We're talking about crushed up waste. We're talking about shells, concrete, yeah, I mean, just...
I mean, and we all talked about this before. The shells that were in the first 6 inches, and I'm sure the other 18 feet or whatever, we know where the shells come from. They don't come from the seashore. They come from dredging. Newark Bay, what have you.
Jersey City, that whole area. They were getting rid of a lot of stuff. There's a guy in Frelinghuysen that had this dumped on his property, and he had a lot of shells on his property. It was his neighbor that saw the fill being dropped. The man hadn't asked for
Does he
it.
live up on a cliff?
Yes.
We reported that.
Oh, did you? Well, he said somebody reported it. He was not aware of it, and he contacted a builder and told the builder that this happened, and they had an excavator come in and remove everything.
I'm so glad they did.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Because one of our
That was you. I appreciate
One of our
that.
neighbors reported that for us.
Thank you.
Also got to commend you on the relationship that you've built with the reps from the DEP. They give you better responses and information than they would from some of us.
See, I'm counting on you guys to
Honestly,
run with that.
but what the information you get back and that communication you have with them is pretty impressive for a homeowner. I give you credit and I give them credit for being as communicative as they are. That line that you read, I read it as well, and it just seemed like there was a little gray area in there that
Way too much gray.
yeah. But I think as we move forward, we'll fill in those gray spots.
So, I mean, I don't want to belabor this because we still don't have the report yet. When we see the report and the way they're going to remediate this and their plan, there'll be a lot of questions on that. But tonight, I just wanted to talk to you guys, answer your questions, and to read you that one thing that we are very concerned with. And because of that, we are requesting our township engineer who works with the group, correct?
Right.
And in that group is an environmental engineer. We would like them to assist in the overseeing and the looking over of the results of the 26 test pits and the remediation plan going forward, and to follow through with that. Because I know I do my best to go ahead and research the things I read, but it sure would be real comfort to have somebody that was in that field, an engineer that was in the environment.
Interpret it.
Yeah, they need to be on the same page. So yeah, that's as soon as that report comes back, that'll get into their hands.
And I think by us having our township engineer and his group overseeing that, or at least keeping tabs on that, I think that would go a long way in making sure this gets rectified in the appropriate fashion.
Mike, I'm going to look for those reports and see if I still have them. I'm going back to 1993, 1994, something along those lines. The town had a fire. Our former engineer was Ted Rodman at the time. He's no longer our engineer, but I will try and see if I have the files, or Kevin or Bob Canese or someone has them, and if they do, I will find a way to get them to you.
I appreciate that.
Okay.
request our township committee to research funding sources beforehand, just in case. I know that we talked about this in the beginning, that if we needed to bring someone to court, that would cost the township a lot of money. And I respect that. Obviously, I'm a taxpayer. And I looked into it. There are avenues that allow funding to towns to combat this type of thing. I would ask that you look into the specifics of that, because I think you guys have far more resources than I do in that case. Just to be prepared, because we don't want to be in the process of having this come before, for them to go ahead and have both the coastal riparian and solid waste remediate, have X number of yards left over, them come to you for an after-the-fact permit to keep that soil. It gets referred to land use board. Those 9 items in our ordinance that allow the land use board to say denied are going to come into play. So I'm sure they're going to fight that. We as citizens, we're counting on all of you to support this and to utilize that ordinance and have the land use board deny that. Because I would love to think this is all rose-colored glasses and that cup is full and that it's going to be removed by the DEP. But my gut instinct and all the research I've done, it's going to fall to exactly where we've prepared. In the end, the land use board. So we just ask for your support in that. And I know that it's not going to be the easiest thing. And like I said, I don't want to cost our town any extra dollars. So I will continue to research where funding is, and I'd appreciate if you guys could also.
I'm sorry for your troubles. I really am. I'm sorry for all the people in that neighborhood. I understand.
This is all part of giving back.
I know, but I realize.
We're all this together, and if more people understood that in our country,
yes,
that we're all Americans, we're all on the same team, we have to look out for each other, no matter who we are, and to do our part in making sure things get done the right way, for the right reasons.
Correct.
That we all do the right thing. I think that's important. So it's not a chore for me. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed striking up a relationship with all of you. With the DEP, with various organizations along the way. It's been interesting. And we're not going to stop. We will not give up until this is rectified to protect all of us. Because I don't want to see that remaining soil. You can't tell me, since all 25 sites were above, exceeded the default standards, that's not washing down into more neighbors, more of our people, into the streams, into the Polandskill, into the Delaware. So we'll make sure we stay on this.
Thank you.
And that's basically it. I know it's not going to be easy, and I know what I'm asking all of you is going to take a lot of work on our parts, but I'm here with you at all times, and you all have my cell number. You need to ask me questions or call, please feel free to do that. Like I said, we're all on the same team. It's not the citizens barking at you 5 up there. We're all in this together.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr.
And
Suffolk.
I appreciate your words immensely. How you said you would stick by us.
Oh, absolutely.
That meant a lot.
Yeah.
Rob, and I want to thank you for that.
I see your determination and your what you've given already of your time, and there's no way we could deny that. We got your back.
And if any of you have any ideas that you would like to see me run with, I'm always open to some good ideas so we can finish this up and take care of it.
I'm dying to see that report.
So am I. and I'm looking forward to seeing the remediation process. And I'm also looking forward, and that's why I asked if you can get our township engineer and one of the environmental engineers to kind of oversee that.
Yep.
Because I'm looking forward to, I know the DEP's told me they're going to oversee this, but I also realize they have an entire state.
Exactly.
I
No,
want them to feel so comfortable with an LSRP that is doing less than the original
Right.
LSRP wanted to do. So,
no, we'll all be on the same page.
And we've had our engineer, as you know. The engineer has been involved already when the LSRP were doing their test pits. He was out there for a certain period of time, looking at their
I
protocol.
appreciate that. I saw him out
Yeah.
there.
So
Yeah,
we've got our guy involved.
Yeah, we got him up to speed pretty quick, but that report will be looked over carefully.
Okay.
I'll get back to
Appreciate
you.
your time.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment this evening? I know he's a tough act to follow, but seeing none, we will move.
Hope we're successful.
We are.
will be.
You've got a lot of people behind you, Mike.
I know, we appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
You and your family.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good night.
I don't know.
Department head reports. Do we want to? What do we want to hit on here? Or we can wait till the end in our broken down reports.
Might as well.
Yeah.
The only one that's not in there, unfortunately, is Department of Public Works. Eric just did not get that to me. He was
Okay.
taping this week, so that is, oh, you have it?
I
Okay.
don't have it.
I was going to say, what does Walter have to talk about? But
I do.
okay, good.
I did take
I
that
know.
off,
Be at a loss for words.
Okay. All right, we'll move through that then. We can accept the department head
Yes,
reports and then give the highlights at the end. We have a motion to
So
accept.
moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we've accepted those May department head reports. We've got meeting minutes for March 9th, 2022, April 13th, and April 13th, both executive session and township committee meeting minutes. Do we have any discussion on those?
I was absent for the March 9th, so I can, if you want to bundle it all together, I need to abstain from that one.
Okay.
As was I. I was out
Yes.
All right.
March 9th.
All right, so we'll vote on that. Any other discussion on March 9th specifically?
I'll move the approval for March 9th minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Abstain.
Okay.
Abstentions?
Abstain.
We got two abstentions.
2 abstentions.
All right, April 13th, we were all here, yes?
Yes.
Okay, any discussion on that? Any omissions?
Motion for approval.
Okay,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, we approve the April 13th minutes as well. Few ordinances to go through tonight. Public hearing and adoption of this one. 2022-04, an ordinance to purchase a police vehicle within and for the township of Blairstown and to provide for the funding thereof. Do we have any discussion on this ordinance? Any discussion from the public? This is your chance to ask us about our police vehicle. All right. Seeing none,
Motion to adopt?
Second.
do a roll call, please. This isn't an all in favor.
I know, I messed up on that, I'm sorry. I'm
Roll
glad you
call.
caught that. Mr. McAtora?
Yes.
Mr. Orcutt?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg?
Yes.
Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes. 2022-05, an ordinance for the installation and purchase of a digital sign within and for the township of Blairstown and to provide for the funding thereof. Any discussion on our,
Get it in, get it up.
it's going to be, I already have people coming up to me saying, I have something for the sign. I got something I need on the sign.
It's still a process, but we'll get it eventually out of the
Yeah.
grant money.
Yeah, I mean, it's it'll be a really nice addition.
You need a motion?
We need a motion.
Did you ask if the public had any comment?
Yeah, any public comment from about our digital sign that we've been talking about ad nauseum for months now out on our front lawn? It's going to be a nice one, and we're getting it through our COVID relief fund money. It's one of the things.
Federal grant money.
Right, federal grant money.
That's the second.
When?
This summer.
Yeah, it'll be up. It'll be up before the snow falls.
It'll be up before the end of the year, I'll say.
Yeah, I'm hoping the snow falls in November.
They have to build it, so.
Yeah, but
I'll make that motion, get that thing going.
I'll second it.
all right. Can we have a roll call, please, Kristen?
Mr. McAtura?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg?
Yes.
Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes.
That'd be nice.
Joanne will be able to see the sign we've been talking about for 4 years
I'm
now.
gonna put her name up online.
Yeah.
You can do Friday night movies.
My son's name.
The resolution will be good enough for Friday night movies. It's a nice sign. 2022-06, an ordinance to purchase a digital recording system within and for the Township of Blairstown and to provide for the funding thereof. This is out of our American Rescue
We
Fund
already
as well.
approved this, but this just approves it using that money.
It's just
Exactly.
cleanup, yeah, just
Yep.
cleanup.
Just clean up. I'll move that, Mr. Mayor.
We have to ask if there's any.
Yep, any public comment on our digital recording? Our old stuff was actually running on computers that were failing as it is. So we got a new computer, we got a new program, and everything is now being recorded, and with the addition of our camera too is a
Which
really
I would point out, this is even more useful than here, it's on the land use board, which is evidentiary things that are needed during the hearings.
right.
So it's very important.
Any public comment on our digital recording system? Seeing none, we have a
I'll move it for approval.
Second.
roll call, please, Kristen.
Mr. McAtura?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg? Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes. Let's see.
Mayor, do you want to add that for first
Yeah, we
reading,
can add
the,
that in there.
Vacation of Stony Brook?
It was in the packet that I gave you right after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a late entry, but I thought maybe you guys might want to move it along.
Yeah, it just came in today.
Yeah, at the end of Stony Brook Road is the Land Conservancy's preserve, where the pavement stops and their property starts, the old roadbed goes through there. Well, apparently they're ready to do some Phase 2 improvements to continue taking out old houses and electric lines, et cetera, et cetera. And it came to, I guess the county pointed it out to them, that old roadbed has not been officially vacated by us, the municipality. They actually took the time to draft the ordinance. The mayor sent it to me earlier today. I reviewed it. It's certainly fine. Not only did they do the ordinance, they also did a complete meets and bounds description and a survey map that would be attached to it. So it seems like...
Did the Conservancy do it or the county did it?
They did it. The Conservancy did the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
And the rush is, I guess, they have some funding that they're waiting on to try to get this work done. So I thought since we're only meeting kind of not that frequently over the summer, that maybe we could introduce this tonight.
Absolutely.
Of course, it'll be out there for you guys and the public before we have second reading public hearing next month, but at least we can move it along. Otherwise, we'll be into August.
Yeah.
Does this
So-
have anything to do with the land that we sold?
No, this is a different piece. They already own this piece, the Conservancy. This is just the old end of Stony Brook. Joanne, that used to kind of years ago connect to Four
Right.
Corners, my old.
Our land is
and
right,
that's-
our land starts
that's
right at
where
that
it
turn.
was.
Yeah.
It's ours was up
Yeah.
there.
You can just, it's actually that driveway there.
Yeah.
I think it's that driveway goes up to our piece. Is that our piece there? Or is it one
No,
more up?
that's right, this was right here.
So if you want to move it, it would be, I guess, be 2022-07 would be an ordinance to vacate a portion of Stony Brook Road. If somebody wants to move it.
I'm all for it.
Yeah,
We've been meeting pretty much once a month, so I'd like to get this going. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please, Kristen. We can do it.
Yeah, let's do a roll call just
Yeah.
before adding it. Mr. McAtura?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg? Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes. Okay. That's out of the way. They really did their homework. And
Yeah, they did.
They got to us just in the nick of time.
We have extra time because we're not working on the dam, I think.
Oh, there's a problem.
Oh,
You're going to say, don't you worry.
Yeah, we got some dam talk later.
Dang, sorry.
Yeah.
More than the inspection?
Oh, yeah. Like when is it going to come down talk, so. So our consent agenda tonight, we have 5 items. 2022-74 resolution approving place-to-place transfer, extension of premise of liquor license of plenary retail consumption license number 2104-33-002-008 Blairstown Brewery LLC. And this is...
It's just approving the expansion that they had outside on the upper deck.
This is for Buck Hill, correct? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Resolution 2275, resolution to accept the resignation of Albert Schwartz as full-time employee and reappoint as a part-time employee. We spoke about that last time. 2022-76, approval of liquor license renewals. 2022-77, redemption of certification of sale number 2021-003 High Street. And 2022-78, resolution approving vouchers and claims. We have any discussion on any of those 5 resolutions? Okay.
I'll move the consent agenda.
Do we have a second? All right, let's do a roll call. Kristen?
Mr. McAtora?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg?
Yes.
Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes. Okay, unfinished business. Water filtration bid specs, still nothing on that. Now that Blair is out, all the kids went home last week, we've got our decreased water consumption, which now is the time we need to work on this stuff. So not getting a lot of positive response out of Pello.
Is that what this letter is in relationship to?
These bid specs were supposed to be done months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were.
Because what I'm seeing here is strictly the recommendation to accept the project.
That's a separate matter.
Separate, okay, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, it's...
Should we be looking into another water engineering firm?
It would probably expedite things at this point, because I think that one of the questions is, Pellos really doesn't have any skin in the game here. There's no real,
Why we are not paying him for the bid spec?
well, I guess we would, but there's no retainer at this point. We're not, I don't think we're at the top of the list.
But we appointed him January 1st as our water.
We appointed, but it didn't, what does it mean?
On since the end of last year.
Yeah, and we've got a commitment to a deadline date to get this thing resolved.
Yeah, we
And
do.
like you said, this is the best time to do it.
We have to do it now,
We have
because
to do it now.
when Blair gets back in session, the water consumption goes up, and both pumps have to run at the same time, so.
Let's look into
What did
somebody
Albert
else.
say? Albert was in touch with,
He's shrugged his shoulders quite a few times with this, so. We'll do more work on it before the next meeting.
We'll bring back some recommendations next meeting.
Planet Networks installation update.
So
Kristen, you
they've
probably
been
know
here
more.
frequently, still haven't started any big projects, but they've been here, they ran some cable, they've been back in the room here. So they are being active, it's just not moving as quickly as we like to, but it'll get them.
they said they're not ready yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the fire department is waiting on this, because once this is installed, then they can, light up our village area and the fire department as well. And the fire department's having a lot of problems with their internet connections in the building. So.
We've been having problems too, unfortunately. Yeah. It's crazy.
Systems.
Do we have a commitment from Planet Network with regard to the town itself?
No. I'm going to tell you no, because we called them personally.
You did?
Yeah, they're not ready yet.
Because their commitment to
Told them, we're ready to go.
Yeah, their commitment to this town when they originally came to see us was that they thought they could have this done within a year.
Right.
And they haven't made any comment to any, I know a lot of the residents have reached out to me because they've made application to them. They've reached out to try and send them documentation, and they're told, well, we'll get back to you shortly, and that's been going on 6 months.
They are literally waiting on what we're doing here.
Oh.
All of it hinges upon that. They need, this is, as the signal comes down from, if it's originating, say, in Newton, every 12 miles or so, you need another one of these, call them racks, that will rebroadcast out. So since we're about 12 miles from Newton, in order to get all of that fiber optic lit up in the downtown area and elsewhere and go another 12 miles, this thing has to be, what they're doing in the back has to be working and online. So it's all really waiting on what they're doing back here.
Are they waiting for?
But they're in the middle of it.
They are, they are.
They were working out front 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they've trenched cable in and out of the building, and
But to put the rack up isn't that big of a deal. I mean, are they waiting for equipment?
they very well may be. I mean, equipment right now
When
is,
they signed the lease, they said they weren't ready.
yeah, the equipment right now is, some stuff is really hard to get. I do buy.
It'd be nice if they would communicate to us whether,
Yeah.
you know, it's a hardware issue versus staffing or whatever.
I'll call Robert Boyle tomorrow.
It's got to be a hardware issue.
Yeah.
It's not that hard to install the rack.
No, and also respond, if the residents are sending them communication, either respond to us or to them, so that we can make public what we're hearing.
I will. I'll talk to him tomorrow and see what's what. Facility use form update.
So unfortunately, our department heads, including me, we are only to get together on Mondays because that's when we're all here. And the last 3 Mondays we've had to cancel. So we're going to get it eventually. Just
Okay.
You want to talk about the...
Yeah, you want to?
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we were at the fire department meeting last night, and we're talking of ways to kind of streamline their whole facility use, where they come before us with, oh, they're going to rent it to have a birthday party to someone, and so, or is it
Under new business coming up next.
exactly, or the BEC has a thing coming up. Does it? I really don't think it needs committee approval for something like that. I think if they fill out a form and the form is approved by, say, the clerk, we could move forward with it. Sometimes those things come up quickly, and they need. I'm not sure why they would need our approval in the first place.
For one of the things coming up,
I know we own everything, sure, but are we really going to say no? Have we ever said no to
Well, I think
anything?
there's one thing up tonight that I would like to discuss, and hopefully give it some thought before approving it.
Okay.
For them to be using their facility on a consistent basis, on a monthly basis, I think it was,
that
for
was,
meetings. And I have some concerns about that.
Okay.
I'll say, I think I know what it is, so I'm going to say it. Regarding that particular matter, we don't have in our fee schedule what they should be charged, because that is still a township building, and we do charge each organization.
Yeah, we need to update our fees.
We do, but technically, we would charge this organization, because they are an outside township organization, $200.
Right.
So what do we charge them? $200 a month?
Why are we about that when we got to it?
Why couldn't it be given to the labor? Why the fire department? I have a concern where anybody using the fire department on any continued basis, if anything happens and the guys have to get in, you know what I'm saying?
First of all, Melanie, what's her name, is running,
Prairie.
firewoman.
Yes.
Fire person, is running this organization, or is very involved in this organization. That's one reason that's being held there.
Yeah.
We
That's
discussed it last night at the fire meeting.
Why don't we give them the building? Why do we own it?
Yeah, well,
I mean,
that was kind of about, we were heading that direction last night, Kevin.
We gave the volunteer ambulance squad their property for their building. We could give that building to them for $1. I know, believe me, I grew up here. I know we've owned it forever, but I kind of agree with the sentiment that there's no reason for us to be involved with that building.
Well, that was what I said last night. Why are we second guessing it? Like, we trust your
let them
judgment.
deal with it.
You guys want to, if you want to have somebody here using your
and
building.
by the way, even if we do that, we can continue.
Wait a minute, we have a water company attached to that.
We can continue to
So we
insure
can't
it
just
and
give the
everything
building.
else. The building up here on Mohegan, is that the one?
No.
No.
Different one.
The old
That
town.
one's gone. That one's gone. That's Blair County.
Yeah, Blair bought that.
Now, this one down by Power Sport, yeah.
Okay. Even still, we can reserve out access for the water stuff and, just
Yeah, I think that would
part
be
of any
bad.
conveyance, but, that would take us out of the loop of these types of things, is what I'm
Well,
saying.
what about proof of insurance?
We
Like-
just,
You would probably do is elect to continue to insure them, because it's much cheaper for us to insure our fire department under our master policy.
Right.
And we could continue to do that.
But then would, if they rent out to another agency or department, would they have to show
They usually would also have a separate
rider, like a rider?
rider for themselves for events. Belvedere is an example. Belvedere has Charlie knows. Belvedere's right next to the missile building. That they have a full banquet facility there. They own the building. We contribute to them. I think we might even insure them in Belvedere, Charlie, as I recall. But yet they also have a separate rider for weddings and those types of things. It's definitely doable.
Well, that.
And again, we could coordinate with the risk manager, but
I was thinking,
Kevin,
go ahead,
You
Joe.
were here when there was an accident at the building
Yeah.
that the fire company owned that we insured.
Right.
And who got sued?
We did.
The township got sued.
Right, which, again,
Okay,
conveying
so
the building away from
doesn't
us
work.
would give us another layer of insulation. We would no longer own the building. But,
We didn't own that building.
Yeah,
We didn't own it.
No.
yeah. Well, listen, you can't control
We
litigation
insured it. We
necessarily,
didn't
but,
own it.
You could sue anybody.
yeah, you can sue anybody. But
The point is to try to avoid that.
I just don't see us ever doing anything else with other than a fire department, and they kind of like run the show. I analogize it to the building here behind this building. They own their own building. Why shouldn't the fire department? So just something to think about.
Because they raised the funds and they paid for that.
They bought
not
it.
Blairstown.
No, but we gave them that building for the property for $1.
Yes, the property, we gave them for $1. Right.
I'm just trying to streamline the process of them using the building. I don't think we've ever come across something where we say, no, we're not.
No,
we're
we've
not
never
gonna let
said
them
no.
do that.
And
we're just another layer of time.
as I
that it
told them
takes.
last night, we trust your judgment. If you guys want to let something come in here, you can let it come in there.
And they certainly treat the place like their kids were born there. They're not gonna have just anyone in there.
Right.
Yeah, but our guy's cleaning it up.
No, they have their own guy.
Stuart Keiss cleans it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Stuart
we have
Keiss No.
Our janitor,
No, he doesn't.
Stuart Keiss cleans the building.
No, they clean they maintain the they maintain the fire trucks, they maintain that portion of it. Why is our guy then in there every other day cleaning it?
Maybe they're taking garbage out. I don't know, but Stuart does clean up
More than
the.
just taking the garbage out, it's cleaning the bathrooms and cleaning the kitchen and everything else.
I think that needs to be looked in, because Stuart
Well,
Keiss
I
gets
know.
paid as a janitor for
No,
that.
that's what they are for the fire, for the hose company.
All right. So anyway,
They're testing it.
we're gonna hold off on that facility use form update. We'll come back to that when we have it done. Affordable housing settlement.
I've given you guys, multiple detailed memos on that up to this point in time. I think we're kind of at decision point. My personal recommendation from a legal standpoint is to dismiss them at this point in time. I just don't see the cost benefits coming out where it makes sense to continue. First of all, this round ends in a couple years anyway, and we'd have to go through this all over again. There was a trial balloon floated by Fair Share Housing Center, who's the nonprofit advocate, and then our court-appointed master, who, by the way, we pay for, Beth McManus, kind of piped in about just letting the overlay kind of float. It would be doable, but it's kind of,
What does that mean?
that would mean instead of like right now, the overlay is attached to the downtown area, which
Right.
we all know is just never going to happen.
Right.
And of course, there's really no other place in the township for it to
Right.
happen. So it would not be attached to any specific lot and blocks or area in the township.
Okay.
It would just be this amorphous, well, if we ever get public sewer or water, it would fall down someplace in the township. And it's an interesting concept, I guess, but as soon as that was floated by Fair Share, Beth McManus had further questions, further issues. I forwarded those emails to you, and it just doesn't seem to me to be worth we can still continue, if you want to continue to maintain an affordable housing coordinator. We've had Teresa for years. We can still work on, putting the rental
Affordable housing.
market to affordable. Thank you, Joanna. We can still do those things without being under the umbrella of a litigation. And
there's no legal responsibility for us to maintain this.
no, in fact, as I said, Judge Miller kind of was guessing that we might want to. A lot of small municipalities have basically come to the realization this is kind of a shell game, to be honest with you, and. We have a very large durationally adjusted need of in excess of almost 60 units.
Right.
And if you think about a project, for every one of those units, some developer would want 5 market units.
That's correct.
So you're talking about a gigantic project. It's just silly. It's
Kevin,
never going to happen here.
Did you hear State of New Jersey, under Murphy, he has a department that has been looking into this affordable housing, and he's trying to push that again. Is that?
I haven't heard anything about that. Where this has come up is we're actually beyond. There was supposed to be a midpoint review,
right,
about halfway through.
Right.
We're kind of a little bit past that because we only have 2 years left on the 10 years. This last settlement covered 2025. Expired in 2025, so it was 2015 to 2025. And so I alerted Fair Share, and they were aware. I said, hey, look, that overlay really is not, that was contemplated when we might possibly have sewer with Blair. It's never going to happen. We did a master plan. We incorporated the overlay into our master plan. Joanne and I went back and forth on this, but ultimately the Land Use Board, I think, rationally said, well, wait a minute, why are we going to adopt an ordinance? This is never going to happen. So we didn't fulfill the settlement. So the question becomes either fulfill the settlement, simply dismiss the litigation, or Fair Share was basically floating a fictional settlement. I don't want to do that. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I don't want to do that.
If it's just a pie in the sky thing, I think you're better dismissing, and we'll deal with people on a case by case.
I did receive a memo from Teresa today, and she said that that the township should consider not participating in COLA.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, we've been far too. We only have 6 more units to do.
Teresa and township, within reason, within what we could really realistically do, you've done a phenomenal job. And you can keep going with that, but we don't have to do it under the guise of litigation anymore. It just doesn't make any sense.
What's the next step then?
Motion to authorize me to file stipulation and dismissal.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
You can all in favor. They're not spending money. Actually, we're trying not to spend money.
Exactly. We'll do a roll call anyway.
Mr. McAtora?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg?
Yes.
Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes.
Okay, I'll take care of that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's pretty old business at this point.
It's off the plate.
Let's see, we got new business, some facility use applications, one for North Warren Little League. Where do they want to be?
Sycamore Park?
Okay. Not a big deal, right? We're not.
No.
There's a $100 charge. We already reached out to our insurance company because there was some request. He is fine with everything that they had requested on the facility use form. I have it in writing.
Okay.
Why would they be charged $100?
Because they're a nonprofit and it's not for, there's a reason.
It says North Warren Little League, right?
Yeah.
Exempt supporting groups are as follows: North Warren Little League.
It's, that is for sports and for practices and games. This is for a fundraiser.
Yeah, they're having a dunk tank and then hot dogs and hamburgers and
I agree. I don't think it should be a charge.
music.
Do we have to charge them for this?
That is up to you.
I'd make a motion that we don't charge them for this.
Thank you.
event.
I'll
I'll
second
second the
that.
motion.
Yeah, let's do a roll call on that.
Mr. McAtora?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg?
Before I vote, can you talk to Pat about that first?
Yeah, this might tick off Pat
Because
pretty.
that could create a big problem. with all the other groups.
And we'll deal with it,
And
and we'll
that's-
deal with it when they come in
Speak
front
to
of us.
Pat Sagan, please, because she is in charge of all of that.
And this is also why I said, why does the fire department have to come to us for all this stuff? We're actually paying a recreation director to oversee this.
If I may interrupt, they're having this event on Sunday. We've had this application probably 2 days after our last meeting. It's been through all the department heads. The last person is our finance person, and she's the one that tells us what the charge is. So Pat would be fine if we did waive the fee, but it's ultimately your decision.
Okay.
Okay, then I agree, no fee.
Where were we?
Roll call.
And we were at Joanne.
We were at Joanne, yeah.
Yes.
Mrs. Waldron,
No, yes.
Mayor Moorhead.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Application for facility use, Blue Star Mothers of the North Warren,
Unfortunately, we have to change that.
and they're having a fundraiser at the firehouse, correct?
Yes, it's ending at the firehouse.
It's a poker run, yeah, motorcycle
Sounds like
poker
fun.
run.
Oh, that
Have you
does
ever
sound
heard
like
of them?
fun.
Yeah.
Sounds so much fun. Don't roll your eyes at me.
Pass. If you have a Harley, it's fine.
I may have to do this.
You do have a Harley.
You got a Harley, yeah. It's good for you.
And is there any fee for this?
This would be one that
Yes.
falls under the $200.
Okay.
This is for Blue Star Mothers.
Where are they based out of? That they're out of township?
North Warren,
But I mean, the president is in Blairstown, Melanie, correct? I mean,
I think as we continue down, we have a second request from them also.
Right.
Which kind of places them in North Warren, Blairstown at the firehouse.
yeah, I mean, it's,
So it's kind of, there's two requests. One of them obviously is for the poker run. The second one, I think, is to use the firehouse for a monthly meeting.
Is there,
So if you look at the thing, again, this is why we need to have this facility use form update.
Yeah, we do.
Out of township, nonprofit, school, church, et cetera, is 200. North Warren is out of township. But everything we do is North Warren. We just happen to be the middle person.
even if the president is based here,
we're
and,
going to go one step further, but okay.
I mean, the president is a member of the fire department as well, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Just don't lose sight of what the organization is.
I know that.
Blue Star Mothers.
I get that.
Got it? We're not charging Blue Star Mothers.
I'm not
for
good with
fundraising.
any fees, honestly.
Not doing that. So,
This is why it comes to you. because
I
if it was
guess
up to
so,
us,
but we almost-
we would be charging.
I know, but we never say no. We never say no, you're not going to
we might
rent the
say
place.
no, but not to Blue Star Mothers.
Is it fair that we can wrap these two together? One of
Yes,
them being
absolutely.
One of them being the poker run, the other one being the
I agree, it's the same.
Yeah, I don't,
fire department. And I was all prepared to come here and say, I wanted to make a motion that we don't charge them. I mean,
no, I don't think we should.
I second the motion,
this
Charlie.
is something for our community that is just
Why
outstanding.
should they meet at Gibbons Belay? Why do they have to meet at the fire hall?
I told you, because
I don't care, I know you told me she's a fire, okay, that's fine, but what I'm saying is, nobody else asks for use of the fire hall meeting room. I think that could be an issue. Why can't it be
Why-
given, every other person,
Why would it be
every
an
other
issue?
group in this town has to go someplace else, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay.
why would that be an
so
issue, though? What's the issue that you have?
What if something happens and you have to get to, there's a fire call or something?
but the meeting room isn't part of
Will
the,
have to be used. Use Gibbons Belay.
but the meeting room isn't part of the, they're not going to meet around the trucks or anything.
Well, then everybody
And this is-
should be able to use the fire hall
Okay.
then for any room that they want to use it for then.
She's also a member of the fire department.
I heard that.
So,
I'll vote for the fundraiser, no problem whatsoever, but I will not vote for them to use the fire hall. Otherwise,
Why don't we
everybody in
just
this,
separate it?
everybody in this town, go to
Yeah.
the Blair Women's Club.
Okay.
They've been asking for months to find a place to use. Nobody would allow them to use
well,
it.
we've also been saying,
Told them to use this room, didn't we say that?
We told the seniors to use this room.
yeah, anyone who wants to use this room can. We made
Why would the
that, we
Blair
made that
Women's Club
decision.
not use this room?
Well, if they have,
Did they ask?
who's gonna
I don't
let
problem
them in
with
at night if they want to use it at night? Who's gonna What do they do?
To open up and lock the building?
I guess that's the benefit of having a fire department member in that group,
No,
so.
she means here.
No, I mean,
No, but I mean, we're talking about this.
Yeah.
You're getting off topic. If someone wants to use this room, we'll make it available, but perhaps not at night. I don't know.
Go ahead and vote on the...
Yeah, let's first vote on the
fundraiser.
first vote on the fundraiser. The
Make the motion on the fundraiser, Charlie.
I'll make a motion that we approve the fundraiser.
I'll
for the
second.
North Warren
I'll second.
Blue Star.
With no fee.
With no
no
fee.
no fee. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, they can use it for the poker run. Now for the monthly meetings for the Blue Star Mothers.
Let me make a motion so we can have conversation. Correct?
Yeah.
I will make a motion that we allow the Blue Star Mothers to have their monthly meetings at the fire hall
At no charge.
at no charge.
I'll second that motion.
Now we've got discussion.
Will they have to provide insurance or anything like that?
They've done all that already.
Yeah.
They have.
That's
Yes.
all part of
Thank you.
of what we
Yep.
do before it gets to us, correct?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. You're really just saying okay, and if there's a charge or not a charge.
Yeah,
That's
wiping out
really
the
why
fee.
it comes to you.
Okay.
Well,
And the motion was no charge.
Thank you.
motion is no charge. We have a second. Any
I got it.
discussion on it? All right, seeing none. All in favor of, no,
No?
we didn't all in favor.
No,
on
there's
either.
no fee.
No, we're not bringing anything in. All in favor of allowing the Blue Star Mothers of North Warren NJ7 to use the firehouse for their monthly meetings, say aye.
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 All opposed?
oppose.
All right, passes.
Is the place.
When we get it fixed up, it will be, absolutely. But we've said time and time again that no one should be in Gibbons-Belay right now. So that's in the works. We're going to make that a nice community center. All right, what else we have?
Harold Pello?
Yeah, accept project for well number 3.
This is just the process.
This is just so that they can get paid off on finishing up the well on Stillwater Road.
That's all it is. Okay.
We don't use the term paid off.
Well, yes, you know what I mean. This settles business with and the well is online, the well is working well, just not providing as much water as we need it to provide in peak time. So we do need the other well on East Chrisman to run in concert with that, and that's why we need to fix up the other well. But that's a completely different discussion. We're going to get there. Do we have a motion to accept the project?
How much is the project, just for argument's sake?
They don't even have
This is from a while back, so
Yeah.
I know.
honestly,
That's why-
I asked for a backup, so
That's why,
I do apologize.
I know, that's why I asked you, because there's no documentation attached to this bill.
I
I don't want
reached
to...
out to Albert, he said everything was fine. I talked to Christine, she said this is from a while ago.
Yeah,
I
this
have
is all
no
stuff
dollar amount for you.
all stuff we voted on.
This was before.
And I get that. I just would like to know what I'm voting on, what the price is of what we're okaying,
everything that we've okayed already.
which is...
Is this supposed to be for the balance of the cost of it?
Correct.
That's what it is?
Do we have a motion to accept this project? There are no hidden fees here. It's just what we voted on for the past few years.
You're the water guy.
I'm the water guy?
Second water guy motion.
We have a second.
I'll second it.
All right. Roll call, please, Kristen.
Mr. McAtora?
Yes.
Mr. Orcott?
Yes.
Mrs. Van Valkenburg?
Yes.
Mrs. Waldron?
Yes.
Mayor Moorhead?
Yes. All righty then. We come to any correspondence, Kristen?
No, sir.
The dam?
We'll,
She's gonna discuss that.
Well, yeah, and we can actually discuss the dam in depth when we get to committee member Van Valkenburg. From the township attorney.
Pretty brief tonight, Mayor. It was a relatively quiet month. I did just hand deliver to Kristen tonight the deed for the Lambert Road property. We finally were able to get that recorded after a couple hiccups. So that's been done, and I also saw in my emails today that we got the lease signed by Mr. Makovich to hay the property, and that included the terms that Commitment Orcott and Eric were concerned about in terms of making sure the hay's off, and so you can use it for parking for the fireworks, et cetera, et cetera. So that's all taken care of. We voted on the fair share housing stuff, so that's been taken care of. I did circulate, I think Joanne and Debbie, I know you guys were particularly concerned. I did find a couple of Airbnb ordinances that I circulated with my report. I also sent those to Roger Thomas so that he can maybe start reviewing those at the land use board level.
But we can't do anything with them until the master plan comes up, correct? The actual master plan review.
Yeah, I think the chicken coop, the Airbnb, all that stuff should be a little mini re-exam, and Roger, I think, agrees with me on that. So we'll work through that at the land use board level, and as soon as they're ready, they can come back up here. But I did send Roger some samples because, like, if you notice those ordinances, I know you guys are concerned about basically somebody buying an investment property and turning it into a hotel. They don't live there or anything else. If you look at some of the samples I sent you, that's one of the requirements, that it has to be ancillary to you actually living there. You know, if you're renting a room, maybe you guys decide to make that okay, but you can't be living in Manhattan and buy a property out here in Blairstown and just turn it into
But that's what we have right now. We have like several of them.
Exactly.
And not only do.
So I have circulated it to you guys just so you can see them, and I did also send them directly to Roger. And so
that was also an issue with the Section 8 housing in certain areas, because we had the homeowners not living there, and that was a source of ongoing complaints with the police department. And emergency services.
So you have those to take a look at, and we can go from there. And beyond that, it was actually one of my quieter months. So unless you guys have any questions or specific concerns for me, that was it.
Thank you. Township Clerk, what do you have for us, Kristen?
Just a quick, I'm looking at a resolution. This is not going to help you, but the total amount was for $399,000. I don't know what we're paying for this well thing, just so you know.
Thank you.
A few things. First, June 30th, we're going to be having a blood drive here. It's a Thursday from 9 a.m. to 3 like we have in the past. The other thing is July 23rd, the Blairstown Ambulance Corps is having their 70th anniversary celebration. They're asking if they can use our parking lot in the front and the grassed area in front of that parking lot. They're looking to have some things done there.
Whatever draws attention to the ambulance corps.
Great idea.
We did have our town-wide cleanup last week, and I think it was a success. Sorry, Walter.
Is it over? You can't bring it?
It's over. I personally think it was a success only because people bought in their taxes to pay, and we gave them a voucher, so we actually had more people come.
Wait, you can't bring it to the dump anymore?
No, you have to charge for it.
Well, actually, she did, but I think we
It was on the website, and it was.
I know. You know, that's why we need
it was
that.
in the newsletter.
Well, that's
We need
another
that
thing I'd like to
screen
bring
out
up.
front.
So just a few things that I have followed up on, so I just want everybody to know. First off, the rescue truck. It has been a nightmare trying to get the title cleaned for that. I was at DMV again today, and hopefully we'll have that resolved by the end of the week. Regarding COA, you had asked for stuff to be put on the website. I just got that today from Teresa, so it has not been put on yet. Another follow-up.
Maybe you don't have to put it on.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
I'll have you look at it and see what it does. I don't know. The following thing regarding the newsletter that I know we've been talking about tons and tons. In all honesty, there has not been much stuff to put on it. Eric Usinowitz had a construction meeting 2 weeks ago, and he's paving now. So he didn't have any information for me for paving. Recreation had information, but that was pretty much it. Animal control officer was going to get me stuff on snakes, but we weren't able to do that. So we are going to aim for a fall newsletter.
The biggest issue, and it should have been out already, is the tax increase.
I agree 100%.
That is what the newsletter, if you're going to do a newsletter,
So
you spend money.
We're
We're
aiming for a newsletter to go out before then. I'm not making any promises because I can't just make up stuff for all the departments, and they're very busy, so we're aiming for that before it goes out.
Kristen, July 23rd, the EMS, what are the hours,
Oh, dear Lord.
roughly?
Hold, please.
Okay.
I didn't know you were going to ask me that
No.
question. Oh, and it just went off.
What was the question?
There were also complaints out.
Hours of operation, July 23rd for EMS borrowing the property.
What were the complaints?
Out in the
Front.
community about people not knowing about the cleanup, that they did not know.
And I respectfully want to say that they also didn't say that last year, so unfortunately.
No, they used to a certain time.
Yeah,
We
I
changed
know.
it.
We agreed. It starts at 11:30.
And through what time?
It doesn't have an end time.
Okay, thank you.
I'm on it now. Oh, there it is. 11:30 to 3:30. I had to click.
Okay. And it's open to the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Kristen, do we have a webmaster, or who's doing our webpage?
That's me.
Okay.
I know you don't like it.
What's that?
I know you don't like that screen. It
I
needs to
think
be
a lot of people
smaller.
that see it don't realize that you have to scroll down.
You have to scroll down more.
They
I
don't.
agree 100%.
And we can maybe revisit that or something.
Yeah, I actually have an appointment with Revise on another matter, so I'll just probably spend most of the day on that.
Okay.
That's who does it. That's who will tell me what to do.
Who are they?
Revise?
It's an outside agency?
Yes.
Have they done work for us before, or?
They're the ones that presented the website. The website was pre-me, so.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, man, they could be there.
Is that all you got for us?
I don't know, Mr. Orcutt looks like he has to say something. Okay.
Deputy Mayor, you got anything to jump in with?
Me? This is me now?
No, it's not you. Committee Member McAtura.
Okay.
What do you have for
It
us?
shouldn't take me more than a half hour, 45 minutes.
Okay. Mike
I really have-
Sook's waiting for you.
Yeah, I got really nothing. The AOC for the Animal Control Officer, his busiest month so far was May with 42 calls for service. Again, every month, same thing with dogs. For those of you who haven't met our ACO, he does an outstanding job, and he really loves his job, but he is also very, very tenacious. So if you have an individual, if you have a dog or a pet that is not licensed, he will fine you. And he will probably give you a summons at this point. But he takes his job seriously, and in all seriousness, he really does keep this community safe. I mean, there's rabies in other municipalities, and he takes his job seriously, and he does the best he can do. So if you run into his good side, tell him he's doing a great job. If he happens to be the one giving you a summons, tell him he's doing a good job. That's all I have for him. We're still trying to get him a vehicle, because right now, especially with gas prices surging, as the police department gets their new cars, we're going to take one. We have a Dodge Durango that we're refurbishing. It's actually in the garage now, and that's going to go to our ACO. So he'll be using that vehicle. As far as the police department, as you all saw tonight, we had a promotion and we had a new hire, so that was really a nice way to start the evening, especially to celebrate something in today's tumultuous times, especially law enforcement. But I'm just going to go through some statistics. I know some people usually like this. I kind of would like us to put it out on the webpage for people that want to see it, what goes on during the month. For the month of May, we had, I'm just going to hit some of the big items. Disorderly conduct and harassment, 11. Alarms, because they respond to every alarm, 11. Suspicious persons, 7. They went to 7 working fires. They responded to 11 animal complaints, which then ends up calling the ACO, and he comes out and takes care of it. 12 motor vehicle accidents with no injuries, 114 summonses reference radar, 52 traffic stops not consisting of radar, parking enforcement, downtown village area, 7, property checks, 125 property checks in the area, 388. So if you think they're not doing anything in the middle of the night, trust me, when they're riding around, they see something that looks suspicious, they're usually rattling the door to make sure that it's secure. 32 medical assists, unfortunately, 3 notifications, and that's usually somebody that passed away and they have to notify. Not a fun time. Property checks to the school facilities, 63. So when you think about it, school's only in 5 days a week, it's 20. So they're doing about 3 a day, a little bit more than 3 a day that they're checking on the school. So that's a nice thing to see. And 911 hang-ups, which happens all the time. Welfare checks are 15. Foot patrols are 23, so we actually have them out there. It's tough because when you park the car, you can't shut it off. It has to stay running because of the computers and to keep the air conditioners going, to keep everything cool in the car. But it's nice to see that they're out there, obviously doing foot patrols and talking to people. So you have a really terrific police department, ladies and gentlemen, so I hope you enjoy it. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Thank you very much, sir. On to Deputy Mayor Orcutt. What have you got for us?
All right, just a few things. Let me just start with buildings and grounds. The air handler, one of the two air handlers in this building for the AC was replaced in the last month. It has been kind of wonky for the last 6 months or so. We got some price. We got a price, and everybody was ready to proceed on it just to get it done. It was like $27,000. It made no sense. It was way too much money. We went back out. We told them to go back out, get some better pricing. We didn't get it. We ended up getting it for around $18,000, which is pretty darn significant if you start putting percentage numbers on that. And they were able to do it right away. They got it done. I hope everybody's happy now again with that. As far as the DPW goes, they've been really working on preparation for paving. Most of Union Brick, or at least major portions of Union Brick, have been milled in preparation of, and of course they have to do the curb basins and the manhole covers and things like that. But Union Brick is ready for paving, and Four Corners Road is ready for paving. Angus Court is milled and ready for paving, and the frontage on the front part of Frontage Road is ready for paving. That's not so much milled there, but Union Brick will start. Union Brick Road will start on Friday. This will be posted by Friday, hopefully, Charlie, so the folks at home will know. But they send that notices to all the I think all the homeowners.
Yeah, and it's posted on our website. I've had it up all week.
They get all the notices. But Union Brick starts on Friday, so just so everyone here maybe avoid that road on Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday they'll probably still be around Union Brick because that's quite a stretch. Hope Township has a section in between, which is going to be done at the same time in coordination. I believe we have it all coordinated nicely. Then they go on to Angus Court, which is up off of Ridge Lane, and then Frontage, the first part of Frontage Road. Then next week, Wednesday or Thursday, they'll get to Four Corners Road. That has not had much love in the last, I don't know how many years, and it's time that got paved and done right, overlaid and done right, and they did a lot of extra milling on that road also to make sure they came out with the best possible job. Let's see what else we have. I just want to give a shout out to the fire department. I've been around town here for 40 plus years, been involved in a lot of organizations, and you guys know when you go to every chicken dinner and every, with the Masonic Lodge and the Lions Club, I've been to a lot of dinners. This chicken dinner that these guys did at the fire department last 2 or 3 weeks ago, in the middle of a giant rainstorm, by the way, was like unbelievably first-class operation. The best chicken dinner you could ever get for takeout. I hate to rave about it, but I have to. I've been involved in so many of these things. Those guys are so efficient. You drive up. It was just great, a great operation. So, but the reason I'm saying this is next time there's a chicken dinner, please go online or see one of the firemen and buy tickets. It's just so easy to get tickets. It's so easy to pull up and get a nice full dinner. It's like, it's a great job they do.
They sold 300 dinners in a couple of hours.
The mayor didn't order his dinner early enough, and he had to go. He went down to get a dinner, and he got one of the firemen's dinner. They mentioned last night.
They were actually cooking their own dinners for themselves and selling them at the end because there were so many people that wanted that.
So the mayor got one of those dinners. I hope it was good, Mayor.
Great.
You won't forget again, will you?
No.
Anyway, we were talking about, we didn't resolve it yet. Let me just bring it up right now. So I'm going to make a motion that we dispense with, because we're in summer now. We didn't really actually do this, I don't think officially, did we?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The second meeting to cancel the second.
Yes. Yep.
June, July, and August.
Yep.
I'll make a motion to do that. Anybody want to second that?
I'll second.
I'll third it.
I'll fourth it if I can.
You'll what it?
Fourth it? We got a fourth, third, and a fifth.
What did you just bring up? What did you just bring up? What are we doing?
Oh, you're not paying attention? You're reading text on your phone that's supposed to be on airline?
No, it's actually
We're canceling the
actually Chief
second
Slater.
summer meetings.
You're canceling summer meetings?
Yeah.
Okay, great. What do we do? To one a month?
Yes.
Yes, that's,
July, August.
I'd say go one a month for the rest of the year. You wouldn't be.
I'll second that.
I'll amend that motion.
Yeah, you
I'll
wouldn't-
amend my motion.
You wouldn't get an argument from me. We've been getting
All right.
business done pretty well with one meeting.
One meeting for the rest of the year. You still good seconding that?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Holy crap.
Say all in favor.
You got a problem with that?
Come on, I only get dressed up 2 times a month.
Wait, Kristen, if we agreed to do this, you're going to revise that agenda on the website, right?
I'm going to put cancel, cancel, cancel all on the right-hand side.
Canceled, you just,
We can always, like,
We're
if something
expanding.
comes up, we can always have a work session.
We can always have a special.
Exactly. we can
Special
always-
meeting.
yeah.
So
Okay.
let's just leave it for the summer meetings canceled, and then starting in September, if there's something comes up, then we'll just do it that way,
Do a
right?
special
you
meeting.
have to, yeah.
Right, oh, you want to schedule it, so you want to
Right.
officially cancel all of them,
Yes,
and we'll
one
schedule it
meeting,
if
one
we have
meeting a
to.
month.
Correct.
There you go, Mr. Benbrook.
So say all in favor.
Good for you.
Yes.
My effective hourly.
You really want this? Yeah, I know. All opposed? Charlie, you're in? Okay.
good.
All right, there we go, one meeting a month.
All right. Okay, I think I'm good with that then.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I still say
Thank
something
you.
before you say something? I forgot something.
Sure.
I just want to say, since it's going to be on YouTube, hopefully before Friday, July, or Blair Academy's
I have
having
that
their
coming up.
fireworks,
Yes.
June
Mayor's Day.
10th.
This
Sorry,
Friday
Mayor.
night, yes.
I have it on the website and I have it on Facebook, but.
So if you have dogs, if you have horses, if you have anything that's spooked by fireworks,
But
it's,
Blair put it on Facebook, so the world will get it.
right, everyone.
Nobody trolled it
It's
for
on
some reason. but-
Facebook for Blairstown.
Yeah.
No, it's on,
It
somebody
is.
else put it on.
But if we had our sign out there, it could be on that too.
So it's going to last for 12 to 15 minutes, and their rain date is going to be the following day. It's starting at 9:15.
Cross that off my
12
list
to
now.
15 minutes long.
Yes. Okay, committee member Van Valkenburg.
Okay, I've been in touch with Beth Styler-Barry regarding dam safety, the Paulina Dam. As you know, over a year ago, we were awarded the money
Oh, yes.
to have this done.
Right.
And to this date, we still haven't received it. And they're still not moving forward with doing it. So Beth has suggested that we send a letter to the Division of Dam Safety, 2 separate letters, and one to the DEP of Natural Resource Restoration to try to get this moving.
Do we have a, Joanne, do we have a commitment date? Because
No.
I know,
No.
no, not from them, but do we have a commitment date as to when this has to be completed by?
No. And see, not having the commitment date, and I don't want that to be a part of this, okay? But we have to pay every single year in order to have the dam
Inspected.
inspected.
And we're in violation now.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
That's what I'm asking, about
That's
the
why I was
violation.
talking to her, but
And it kills me that we have to pay to have a dam inspected that is going to be torn down. There's no way we would fix it.
No.
It needs hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of repairs. We're not putting $300,000 into a dam that's going to come down
if
next
we get
year.
these letters out, possibly.
Yes, someone, I think there's a little crossed
So,
communication.
there's 2 very good letters here, and take a look at them, please,
Okay.
and if we can, we can put this on our letterhead.
Yep.
Let's
Okay, so that's
do
what
it.
this is about, okay.
Yeah.
You want to forward them
Yeah.
to me, and I'll just cut and paste and
Yeah, that's fine.
Yes,
put
please.
the mayor and
2 very good
sign and
letters.
go.
Yeah, I don't want to end up with a violation because we didn't take any action.
We're already in
We're in
violation,
Yes,
but
I know.
It's
we're,
important to get it done too, because it
Yeah.
is a safety issue.
Of course,
Over
of
there,
course.
so that's
Yeah.
the biggest thing. The
Okay.
other thing with recreation, everything's going forward. I think people woke up and there's a lot of, the after-school program is a big program, and it's getting filled up, which is great. So Pat's doing a phenomenal job
She
with
really
all of
is.
the programs, just incredible. And that's it, that's
The
all I have
summer
to report
program's
on.
going to be starting while we're
Yeah.
on break, so.
Yeah.
Can I say
School
one
ends
thing,
the
right?
20th.
certainly.
Let me just say one thing that you brought up. We talked about it at the last meeting. We talked about, I think Rosalie was here, we were talking about tennis courts or something. My wife and I were walking down in Knowlton Field. We did a couple loops around Knowlton Field. They have a really nice tennis court back there that nobody, I'm sure, hardly anyone uses. Really nice tennis. Did you know that? You're looking at me.
No, I knew that, but the.
They have a great walking path, too.
You're talking about tunnel field?
Yeah.
Hey.
You know how they got that tunnel?
Way in the back.
Tunnel field done? That was through grant money? 100% grant money?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is correct.
And donations, because
But Green Acres
Frank-
only
Green
too?
Acres, yeah.
Right, so anybody can go down there.
Yes, that is
Just-
correct.
I want to make that, clear.
Right.
No, that's
It's a
terrific.
really nice tennis
Pickleball, I
court.
thought the big thing was pickleball you're working on.
I think there's a line marked, I think there's a red line on the tennis court, and I bet you that's for pickleball.
Probably
it
Is
is.
it?
It is.
Look at that.
People
And,
have come in asking about pickleball.
and there was a whole crew down there playing volleyball.
Yep, there's a volleyball.
There was 8 or 10 people down there
beach
playing volleyball.
Well,
They have a nice sand, blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah.
you can have them play volleyball.
And they
at
can come up and play
Sycamore Hotel.
basketball here, obviously, if they want to, you know, if they run
And they
out.
can go for a ride when the airplane's going by and the thing is hanging there. You can grab onto it and take a ride over to the airport.
Okay, committee member
Yes,
Waldron, what do
okay.
you have for us?
Okay, and not so good of a note. Obviously, we all saw what happened at Uvalde, and it was a terrible tragedy, and it wakes you up, and it makes you realize how lucky you are that it's not your family, your child, your community. However, I have been, along with Chief Johnson and former committee woman Christine Dalton, that we've been, Cynthia Dalton, I'm sorry, we had gone down to the elementary school where we had been invited to come down to talk to them about a resource officer. They said they had the funding, they used the funding for something else, they did not use the funding for the resource officer. This would be the time, and I would invite Mr. McAtora to come with me, I'm the school liaison, myself and Chief Johnson, to go back to the Board of Ed meeting and say, look, you know, what did we have in common with this school? Same size, same type of community, same atmosphere. This could have easily been us. It really could have. And I would like to, at all costs, avoid that. Our high school has 4 retired police officers there, and I feel somewhat better. But through an accident, a stupid accident, that door was left open. And I see that at the high school. I see the doors open all the time when I drive by. And these kinds of comments should come from our police department directly to our schools. But I would like Mr. Matora to attend possibly a school board meeting with me at the BES and see if we can't, see if they have any interest in it now. Their funding comes up in June, that's why I'm asking.
Well, at the same time, I don't want to step on Chief Johnson's toes. I mean, he's
No.
been very well apprised of this and been working with him, and I know the individuals at the high school. I do know a little bit of the protocols. You know, this is definitely his forte. Anything we can do to assist, by all
No,
means.
I'm thinking not so much the high school as I am the
And-
BES, the elementary school.
The elementary school.
Elementary school. They really have no protocol in place. Chief Johnson does an excellent job with our police department in training and in oversight and helping the children, you know, to learn what the protocol is. God forbid something should happen, some kind of tragedy. But the school itself has to have some kind of, you know, they've admitted that they would like to see a resource officer, and yet they didn't have the funding for it. So maybe if they can find a way to put some funding in that budget, we can look into that. So if you want to talk to Chief Johnson about that, I would appreciate it.
I'm just a little curious what you mean, though. When you say if they had the funding for a resource officer, who would that be? One of
BES.
our police officers?
No. They hire a police officer.
Okay.
They hire, they pay them.
Okay, all right.
We train them.
would fall under
We
our
train
police
them. They fall under our police department. But we train them.
How is that different? How is that different from what the high school's doing right now, though? The high
Because-
school contracts with retired police officers. 4 are on duty, like we
Right.
talked about. 3 or 4 are on duty in any given
Do
day.
you know when they're on duty?
I do.
We
They
can
won't tell
discuss
us.
that at another
Joanne
time.
asked that question at the school board meeting. They wouldn't tell us for security reasons.
Okay,
which
we'll
just
talk about
makes
that
sense, I
another
guess.
time. But I agree with you. My concern was that there is nothing, I don't care who the officer is involved. I don't care if it's a resource officer that they hire or if it's an elderly man, but that there's somebody on that property to oversee and protect those children.
Understand, and I think there's going to be a lot of guidelines and a lot of assistance on hardening the schools coming down on a national
I
level.
hope so. Okay. All right. With regard to Blairstown Historic, their meeting, they were discussing their events that they have coordinated, and one of their real big concerns, and something that we've addressed a couple times, was the shelving for the newspapers. They do have to take...
That's the agreement.
Oh, thank you. They do have to have shelving, and they want to get those newspapers brought to them and get them out of where they are now.
You weren't here when we discussed that.
No, I wasn't.
We get the shelves. I took care of it. We get the shelves at the library.
No, they're asking me to ask when.
When we get time.
Oh,
by the way, no, I think part of that was...
Because the library...
They needed to make room. Christine Beagle.
She did.
We need to make room.
She did. I think she did.
Where?
She did clean up the storage room where she had her stuff.
What are all those new
That
shelvings?
just happened in the last 2 weeks then.
Yes,
Yes,
it
it
Yes.
did.
What are all those new shelvings in the...
Well, they thought they were going to put those in our room, but we're not doing that.
No?
No.
I saw the new...
They're going to end up going in the back room or something. We'll use them
Or
somewhere else.
they can go in the caboose, too.
The library is
That's
asking
their
them.
concern. They just want to know where it's going.
Yes.
That's what their concern was, where it's going. And we don't have an answer for them yet.
No, because the library is also asking them when they're intending to take it out, so they can utilize their own space. The other thing I had, the BEC is producing a calendar for next year as a fundraiser. And they're looking to us to give them a schedule of our events, such as our land use board meetings, our township committee meetings, so that they can include that in their calendar. And I advised them that that is not possible right now because we don't even vote on that until the end of this year. Right. So they asked us that come the end of this year, if we would notify them of our schedule, they would appreciate it. Okay. And that's basically all I have.
All right.
So they don't want our pictures?
It's not a...
No,
It's a calendar, come on.
I don't think so.
Kevin, you'll be in there, right?
Yeah, sure. Right behind you, Charlie.
The centerfold. All right, so I did my first walk with the mayor through our recreation department, and we were hoping that people would show up. We thought, well, if it's just going to be me and Patty, then it's just going to be me and Patty, and we had a lot of people show up. We had like 3 families. One family had like 5 people with them. Some new families to town, just looking for stuff to do.
And point out, it was the hottest day.
It was 90. It was 95. It was awful. But it wasn't bad in the canopy of the trees. We went down the Paulnskill Trail, and we started out at 10 a.m., and it stayed very comfortable under there. Once we got back to Footbridge Park, we walked all the way to the airport. One gentleman and his son, he had baseball practice or a baseball game, so he split off. His wife picked him up at Sycamore Park. Everyone had a great time. It was really nice just walking and talking, and it was very nice hanging out with some folks on a Saturday morning. We'll definitely do that again. And let's see, and to riff off of your fire department kudos there, Deputy Mayor. There was a fire just a couple weeks ago at 3 East Chrisman, just by the Paulina Dam. I can walk there from my house. When I got a text from dispatch that the fire was happening. I was just called in. No trucks had arrived. I started out on foot to walk down there to see it. This is the response time for our volunteer fire department is so amazing. When you think of paid fire departments have a crew sitting around, waiting for something to happen. They can get a truck out. Just as soon as the alarm goes off, they're out the door. Everybody else shows up. This is a volunteer fire company. These folks have to drop everything they are doing, whatever they are doing, get to the firehouse, grab equipment, grab trucks, and get to the scene. This call came in, dispatch at 5:57. We had water on the fire at 6:09. In 12 minutes, we had water on that fire for a volunteer fire company. That is amazing. It's above and beyond. And what I was trying to say was, I walked down there, they beat me there. I couldn't even get there fast enough. The trucks were already there. Just so good to see our fire department in action. So had to pass that along. The fire department report from last month, I'll go through that real quick. Blairstown Hose Company number 1 answered 23 calls. It was actually a very busy month for them. 11 in Blairstown, 8 in Hardwick, 2 in Frelinghuysen, and 2 mutual aid. So they were really busy. They did a great job with the Memorial Day Parade, cleaned up their trucks really well, and were one of the biggest hits of the parade as they made their way down 94. And amazing to see the turnout this year. It was a beautiful day. Last year it was like 20 degrees cooler, and it was pouring down rain. This year made up for last year, and the town and all the surrounding towns certainly came out for that parade and made an extraordinary event. And at our last Warren County Governing Officers Association meeting, the New Jersey Film Commission sent a few folks down to talk about what they do and how they get film companies to come to your town and how they get them to spend money in your town. And they have a website that you can provide shooting locations, different, if you have a really beautiful house, if you have a really, we brought up Blair Academy, as Blair Academy could pass for a university of any kind. That could pass for, Notre Dame. It's a really, really good looking campus. So we talked to Jim Frick about that, and he said, yeah, we have requests for that, and it's nice that the New Jersey Film Commission kind of filters that through and finds those shooting locations, helps the folks find it. And they also offer huge tax breaks to film companies, huge tax breaks, depending on how much they spend in the state. But it's something like a 35% tax break on everything they spend. So it's really, really good program, and nice to see that we had so many little red dots on the map in Warren County for shooting locations that are already, out there on their website.
Interestingly enough, it was 3 days after the Friday the 13th event that we had here.
Right.
So catching a lucky movie location that just keeps giving year after year after year for 40-some years.
Exactly. And I think that's all I have.
Rob, 1 second. Kevin, there was a document that BHPC gave you for revision, and you gave it back to them, the contract for outgoing.
For loaning stuff? Yeah,
yes.
we did that.
And they gave you their revisions. Did you get that?
I don't think so.
I don't think, no, I know I didn't send it to.
Okay.
No.
I'll send it to you.
Okay.
There's
the
some
contract I did, they want some changes?
Yeah, there's-
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Just
Christine
sure,
said
send it
she
over
was
to me.
going to type it up, I thought, because that's
Okay.
handwritten. I thought she
Yeah,
said
I
she
know,
was
this
going
is
to type it up.
this is very convoluted. It's got to
Yeah.
be drafted in a more context form.
I believe
with
Christine said that her
typing.
computer
Yeah.
was down and she wanted to type it up.
Yes, she did.
And that she was going to forward that once that was
Okay, I just want to make sure he's aware
Yeah.
that a new document will be
Okay.
coming.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you. Okay.
Any other discussion before we move to adjourn? Anyone from the public have anything to bring to the committee before we adjourn? Hey, come on up. You
Come on, Lorraine.
got to make it up to the microphone. We're on camera, so they need to hear you.
Hello, Lorraine.
Lorraine, that's your fire, Lorraine. What were the election results yesterday?
The election hasn't been certified yet.
The unofficial results.
Yeah, do we have the...
Where Karen Lance was the
I believe Karen
winner.
was just raising her hand to
Unofficial.
tell us the results. No.
I don't know the official numbers. It was awfully close.
It was very close.
But nothing's been certified yet. They still have provisional ballots and other things that they're counting up. So we don't want to step on any toes or call anything early. But
It was very close.
Yeah, but if we had to call it right now,
Preliminarily, right?
yeah, preliminary winner of our primary was Karen.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Anything else before we?
Karen had her hand up.
I didn't even see you. What's up, Karen?
I don't want to talk about that, but I did want to talk about 4th of July, because if you're going to cancel the 2nd June meeting,
Oh, yeah,
then we would probably want to.
that's right, too.
So Karen Lance, 4 Centerville Road. First thing is, we're receiving very good funding from our sponsors and donors for the celebration, so that's kind of nice. Second thing is, all of the vendors that we typically have year to year have, the time has expired for them to come and claim their same space or claim their same vendor category. So we're now opening it up to call for vendors, and we typically do that just to Warren County. We want as local as we possibly can. If there's somebody that's here locally and they want to make a little money and have a vendor spot, we want that person before we're going to open it up to farther away. We have 4 food vendors so far. We'll be opening it up to others, but meanwhile, we'd really still like to be able to get nonprofits that want to do a fundraiser for serving food at the event, because that's what it's about. It's about community bonding and being able to get as many local groups in there as possible, meet your neighbors, meet your emergency services folks, outreach, all sorts of things like that. The other thing is that we'll be working with Kim as far as the rentals for the porta-johns, for the sanitation centers. We've already submitted a plan to Warren County Health Department. We've already created the NJ rims for if there's any fire permits that have to be granted. You have to create a location and an event and so forth. And so that's been done on their website. We've already done everything that we need to as far as with the Warren County Mosquito Commission for spraying. And everything is set up with the Rotary as far as the duck race for the timing and the location. And we have our contracts back from 2 of the typical one band and the DJ, so that's all set. We have one band that hasn't committed yet. I don't know, I think they experienced the loss of one of their members, so that may change. But we have 3, or 4 other groups that are like, oh, I want to play there. Well, that's fine. So we have other musicians that are available to do that. John Crook will once again be doing the opening services. We have everything set up for the flag raising, and it's coming along nicely. We'd like to see some more vendors, so that's where we're going to be opening it up. So that's what I'd like to say, is that for the calls of vendors, we'll be opening up to Warren County this week. That's it.
Karen, do you need anything from us before, since we don't have another meeting this month?
I'm going to bother Christine about that.
Okay.
Because we've done it before, when the time is too short. If you're not meeting in between, she can arrange, because it's not money that's being expended from the town.
Right.
It's actually sourced as donations, and so that money is held as a trust, so she
Okay.
can dip into that money. And afterward, you guys can review it and approve it after the fact, because
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to make sure, because this
Yeah.
is really last minute,
Yeah.
that you're being notified that.
That's okay. It's, we've done it before, and it hasn't been a difficulty.
Okay.
Because, again, it's not commingled monies, so
Okay, great.
that's it.
Great.
Good undertaking, Karen, you do a good job.
Yeah, you do. Amazing job.
It's, we have a good team. We have a really good team in place. We have 4 people that help me. I don't do it by myself. We have one person who manages a lot of the vendor work. We have another one who does a lot of the contract stuff, a lot of the services with foods, and things like that. So it's nice. They're just quiet people, and they do what they do well.
Thanks again, appreciate it.
Anything else to bring to the committee? All right, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make
Second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Adjourn. Thank you very much, folks, and